This is College of Circles. I'm Jeff, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different than the Wizkids figures. Pretty much every video I've done so far is just talking about Wizkids videos. But here I wanted to talk about some of the alternative options to Wizkids, particularly for somebody that's just starting out as a game master and wants to find some options that aren't going to break the bank, but still give you a lot of quality and variety. And there's two companies in particular that I've become pretty fond of. The first one is Monster Protectors. Now, this company produces standard, the standard size figures. They're not exceptionally well detailed, but there's a large amount of variety you get in them. I bought the 32 pack Townsfolk set, and you have all these different townsfolk in the set, from royalty to beggars to an executioner to a jester, barmaids, bartenders, somebody working a plow, an armor. If you're trying to build up a collection of figures and want a really cheap way to have your entire town populated, I think this really is the best way to go. Wizkids does make a lot of really good townsfolk figures, and I love the ones that I have, but it's kind of hard to find them as they get spread out amongst so many different sets, and they can be a little bit pricey for figures that generally don't have a prominent role in your game. So, like I said, for filling out a town, the Monster Protector set is pretty good. The 32 pack goes for like $29.99. The 64 pack, which is all the same figures, just two of each one, it goes for like $34.99. So you can definitely really cheap way to fill out your town. They also offer like 8 packs of different figures for like $14.99. I wouldn't recommend doing that. That starts getting to be more costly for what you get out here. But for those 32 or 64 packs, this is a screaming deal. They also have a lot of different monster packs. My wife picked up the 8-pack skeletons that you see here, and those went for $14.99. And then they also have the larger sets of monsters, 32 packs and 64 packs. All of these are available on Amazon. They might be available other places, but you can definitely get these on Amazon. So Monster Protectors, really great for your low level, your first, second, third level encounters with goblins, skeletons, ghosts. I think they have some ogres and stuff. So yeah, so Monster Protectors, really good company, especially when you're just starting out. The other company, and I started buying these figures from Safari Limited right when I started playing. The first character that I played in person for a long time was a druid, and I really wanted to have all the little animals. A couple of guys I played with referred to it as my zoo or my menagerie. But Safari Limited does these tubes, and you can see these in any of your hobby stores like Michael's. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them on Amazon, of course. But pretty much the main hobby stores or craft stores are going to have these. And the tubes are literally just a tube of little animal figures. You see like the elk, the eagle, the lizards. Some of them work better than others. The brown bear, I use it constantly. I almost always have that one with me. The wolf makes for a decent dire wolf. It's a little undersized, but it's a pretty good dire wolf. And then there's a couple snakes, not pictured in the video, but they're perfect as a giant constrictor snake, which it just blows my mind that this hasn't been made as a figure yet. But there's some of the little creatures don't work as well or as realistically, but there's a good half dozen to a dozen of these little figures that are really good representations of the animals, of the in-game animals. Safari Limited also offers larger figures, and you see here that the elk is a absolutely perfect giant elk. This is like 2 scale of what a giant elk in a Dungeons and Dragons world would be. You have the predatory birds here, the giant owl, giant eagle. They both like these look like birds that could lift up a player character, right? Like lift a character out of it. There's some sets of insects. The one I bought was most of the figures are pretty bad, but the Scorpion, this is a great giant Scorpion, and it's comparable to anything released by Wizkids. And then you have, it's not a great figure, but the Centipede works really good as a megapede from a Starjammer. So it's a little undersized for a megapede, but it worked really well. So for $1, you get a megapede figure, which otherwise you'd probably never get. Showing here is the octopus from Safari Limited, and this guy again is really favors well when you compare it to the giant octopus that was released last year in the Season Shores set. I actually think the Safari Limited looks a little bit better in some ways. So, and then you can get kind of creative. So again, I've been recently running a Spelljammer, not Starjammer, I said earlier, but Spelljammer series sessions in my campaign. And one of the things I wanted was a Kindori, which is a figure that will probably never be released by by Wizkids. So, but Safari Limited just released this blue whale, which paint a couple dots on the side of its face, and you now have a Kindori, or at least a infant Kindori. So they also have some more fantasy creatures like dragons. And before I ever started buying any of the adult dragons from Wizkids, I bought a few of these. And in some cases, they again they have a really good favorable comparison to their larger Wizkids counterparts. The blue dragon in particular, I think, is about as good as the adult blue dragon from Wizkids. A little bit smaller and not quite as detailed, but it's a better pose at least. And then the green dragon and blue dragon also look pretty good. And these figures go from $16.99 to $19.99. There's a few other ones that I think they're like $24.99, but that's about as expensive as they get versus $79.99 to $99.99 for the Icons of the Realms figures. And then lastly, you have here is a Phoenix that I got from Safari Limited. And, when you compare it to the Elder Elemental Phoenix from Wizkids, yeah, the Wizkids figure is phenomenal. And I can only show a picture right now because I haven't bought it yet, but I am currently saving up to. And it looks amazing, and I really want this figure. But for less than $20, the Safari Limited one is a great substitute. So yeah, so I just want to do this video and kind of show beginning game masters, dungeon masters, what some of the other options are out there. Because it's, you go into your game store and they're only going to have, Wizkid stuff for the most part. So, but if you start going to like, Walmart, Amazon, Michael's, you look in unconventional places, you'll find these much cheaper alternatives. So yeah, so hopefully this was helpful to some of those new game masters out there. And once again, I am Jeff. If you like this content, hit that like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely trying to grow it, and I appreciate you taking your time to come hear my thoughts on these figures. So see you on the next video.